Hello everyone. So today, today I will discuss with you a new topic in the Angular. This is the component life cycle hooks. How many life cycle hooks? How it's work? I will describe to everything one by one. Okay. So start with the let's start with the life cycle hook in Angular. So what is the life cycle hook? The life cycle hooks are Angular method that are executed at certain point during a component's life cycle. These methods allow you to tap into the Angular component life cycle and apply custom logic or operations at a specified point in the time. Okay. When a component is created in Angular, it goes through the different life cycle phases, like from beginning being created to being destroyed. Okay. So, if I'm talking in the real example in the Angular application, so everything is in life cycle where which you can apply in the under the component.ts. Example, ng on init, this is a life cycle. Ng on destroy, this is a life cycle. Ng on changes, these are the life cycle. So, how much life cycles in the Angular? Okay, so total eight life cycles in Angular. Eight life cycles hook in Angular. Okay, and life cycle hook is not nothing anything. This is the methods. Okay, so in this simple, okay, you can say the eight types of the life cycle methods or hooks. Okay, so first is the ng on changes. Second one is the ng on init. Third one is the ng do checks. Fourth one is the ng after content init. Fifth one is the ng after content checked. Sixth one is the ng after view init. Seventh is the ng after view checked. Eighth one is the ng on destroy. Okay, so these eight types of the life cycle hooks in Angular. Now, next question is the how to use these all of the hooks. Okay, I will start with the first one, and I will also show to you the example because without example it is okay. Okay, so let's so first life cycle hook is the ng on changes. Okay, so let's explain this thing. Okay, so, NGO changes. What are the NGO changes? The NGO changes hook is used to detect and response to changes in input properties of an Angular component. Okay, it's called whenever there are changes to input properties. When one or more input properties of a component change, updating your component's state is made convenient by responding to input changes. Okay, in the very simple language, I will explain to when anything change in the component, but in which type of component? When parent component will share the data, will transfer the data, will send the data to child component. When parent component send the data to child component in this whole situation, this change will detect under the ng changes. Clear? So I will simple example which show to you. I will take an input number and send some data from the parent to child application. So I have already installed the application installed in the Angular 17. Okay, so here I have created one new component in the app test component. Okay, and the test component is the child component. So this is the very easy to learn. Okay, and this app component is the parent component. Okay, so here is the two components. One is the parent component, second one is the child component. Okay, so I am here creating a variable. Okay, variable name is the I'm creating a variable which name is the input value. Okay, input value, and this is the number, and I'm assigning two number is the sex. Okay, and I will send this input value to the child component. Okay, through the input decorator. Okay, so first I call the app test component here. Okay, and here I'm passing the input value and pass the data. Okay, so this is the and I will receive the input value in the TS file. So you using the at the rate input decorator. Okay, and receive the data and input value, which is also here is the number. In default I'm assigning to 0. Okay, and here I will print the here I will print the numbers. Here I will print the number. Okay, so nothing with that. Here simply print the H3 current number. Okay, and the what is the number? The input value. Okay, now write to the change also. So implement this ng on change in the child method, because the parent will send the data to child and child will just check. Okay, so ng on changes, but here required implement on changes. Implement on changes. Okay, let's. So here I am writing the some code. Okay, so for changes, a simple change. Simple change is the interface where store the three values: previous value, current value, and first change. I will explain everyone. Everyone. Okay. So and this is the why it's getting the error. Okay, I will add the uh, test component in not assignable. Implement and on change. Check. Change. We'll quick create a method. Okay. So here is the something wrong which I am writing here. Okay. So this is the and here is the I will add some of the logic cha- if changes if changes okay if changes input value. Okay, in this case this dot previous value. Okay, so here I am declaring the two variables. previous value. This value is the string and assign to blank. Okay, and here it declare the other value is the this is the current value. Okay, these are the two variables. So I will store the value on this. So as already know कि simple yeah, sorry, simple change. This is a interface, and here I have the three declaration. This is the previous value, current value, and first change. So once ng on change method will run, then under the changes will receive the three value. First, sorry, previous value, current value, and this is the first change. So I'm writing here the previous value. Okay, and same for the current value. We'll store the both value here. Okay, current value. Here you also type the current value. Here what is the change? U dollar ENT. Okay, same name here. Okay, save. Now I will test this thing. So here what are you doing? Here I'm declaring the input number. Input number is sending data to the child component, and child component will receive the data through the at the rate input decorator. Okay, now let's run this code and check this is the working or not. And serve. Okay, here on the local host 4200. Okay, getting the some error because here I'm changing the engine changes some other thing. Okay, for the common module. Okay, 4200 already running, so no need to run. Okay, and here you can see the parent component. This is the child component, and this is the current value here already displayed. Okay, so I'm here adding the current value and same as the previous value. Okay, so an example, inspect and see to you. Okay, here you can see once application is loaded. Okay, okay, sorry, I have not added any of the log under here, so I will adding the one log console.log and g on changes is was exposed and add the value changes. Okay, now let's check the console for the print. Here is the running. Okay, and in here you can see ng on change what exposed, and this is the object of this simple change. So you can see here the current value, first change, and previous value. Current value is the which is value assigned on the particular parameter. Okay, and first change is the mean this is the first change which first time loaded the value of this variables. Okay, and previous value if example in the second time. So I will show to you. I'm creating a button in the parent component. Okay, I'm creating a button in the parent component. Okay, here I'm creating a button. Okay, click me, and here I'm creating a method nominated click me. Okay, once you can click me, then this will be increase the value of input value. So I'm writing simply here this dot input value is equal to this dot input value plus 20. So once I will click on the value, then change the then first value is this, second value is the when I am clicking on the button. Okay, let's again show to. So this is the first time. So here you can see the this is the first change. First change means true and current value is the 6. Once I click on the click me, then in this case previous value will be 6. New value is this 6 plus 20 means 26, and first change is the false because this is the second change of the same variable. Okay, this is different. You can see here current value is the 26. First change is the false because this is the second value which is loaded in the particular variable, and previous value of this variable is the 6 and current value of this variable is the 26. So I think this is the clear to everyone. Okay, now move to the next decorator. Next decorator is the ng on image. So everyone using the ng on init decorator. This is the very simple and very easy decorator. Sorry. This is the very easy life cycle hook. ng on init. The ng on init hook is implemented by importing the on init interface inside the TypeScript file. Okay, the hook called only once during the component initialized. This is called only one time when component is initialized. Normally the ng on init is called after the ng on changes. It's called, but when there are no template bound input, then ng on init call you call it made first. Okay, so we'll show the example for the ng on init. First I will implement on init. Okay, and here create the ng on init method. Okay, under the console.log. Okay, and ng on init method was exposed. Now I'm removing to the here because the I will show with the ng on changes. The ng on changes available in the in test component.ts file. Here I am adding the on init. Okay, so as per the discussion before, first call the ng on changes, then call the ng on init because the ng on changes immediately called when any change in the component. Okay, and then run the ng on init. Okay, let's see, check here. So you can see component is loaded property, and here you can see first run the ng on change was exposed, then run the ng on init method was exposed. Okay, so I think this is also clear to all of you. Okay, if anything is not clear, you can write the question in the comment section. I will 100% I will reply to you, try to as soon as possible. Okay, if anything you want to know, you want to discuss on any topic, or you want to uh, need any video on any other topic, then you can simply s- send to add your comment in the chat section. I will check, and again I will create the new video for you. Okay, so please subscribe my channel full stack vlogs for the latest video. Okay, thank you. Now next is the next lifecycle hook is the ng2 checks. Okay, here is the ng on change means when any property will change in any component, then call the ng on change. Ng on init, this is the once component initialized, this will call. And third one is the ng2 check. NG2 check lifecycle hook is used to performing a custom change detection and responding to the changes in a component. It allows us to implement our own change detection algorithm for the given component. So this component will call when time to time this will call when any change in the component, then this will automatically will call this method ng2 check. Okay, so I will show to you the example. So simply nothing here, we can do one thing. Add here is the one more component, do check. Okay, and here creating ng do check console dot log ng do check method was exposed. Okay, now what here will do, first run the ng on change, second run the first run the ng on changes, second run the ng on init, then run the ng to check. Okay, so first time ng to check when will run when component initialized and property will change, means proper parent to parent component set the value to child component. Okay, clear. Now let's first we did see the example. Okay, run this code, and here you can say first run is the ng on change, then run the ng on init, then run the ng do check, and again you will see the naki ng do check runs 3 times here, but I have added only one time. So why it's run the 3 times? Because the ng do check first when the component is initialized, it will run and check any property will change. Okay, so he will find the first time property will change. Again, after the sum of the millisecond, it's again run to confirm the this property is changed or not changed. So only for the confirmation it will again and again. So means every time this will run minimum 3 times. Okay, let's I'm clicking on the click me. In this case, ng2 changes for export run and also run the ng2 check, because any activity on the component, then ng2 check will run, because it will checking the variable impact. Okay, but here in your mind getting a question. Okay, before the question, I'm saying to and never use the ng on changes and ng to check hooks together in the same component, because both are working as a same. They are not intended to be implement together inside the same component, as it cause unwanted behavior and increase the complexity. Now, I think in your you are thinking about the what is difference between ng do check and ng do changes and ng do check hooks. Okay, so this is the example. So I will explain to ng to check. ng to check touch fire when the input property is an array object like APC class etc. ng to check will be called every time a change detection system detect a change. When Angular will detect any of the change in the component, like change the variable value, change the array value, change the object value in a class. In this case, ng to check will automatically run on every time. Example, you have changed the 10 times of the any variable value, or you have changed the 10 times, something like here, for example, I'm click me in the 10th time, means in the 10 times and you do check method will run and expose to you what is the change in this particular thing component. Okay, okay, clear. So and the ng on change, what is the ng on change? ng on change will call only the when a child component receives the data from the parent component. In this case, only ng on change will run. Otherwise, ng on change will not run. When parent will send the data, parent is sending the data to the child component. In this case, ng on change will run. Other any of the case, ng on change will not run. Other case, if anything impacted, anything change, anything, any variable change, any value change in a variable, in this case, ng2 check will automatically run. So I hope this is the again this is also clear. Okay. Now let's move to ng after content init. What is the ng after content init? The ng after content init lifecycle hook is involved whenever there is some content projected into the component content that include HTML element or CSS or any other type of data to the child component. Let's again, you will think it about at the rate input decorator will also pass the data. So why I need the ng after content in it? In at the input decorator will pass the data only the sum of the data. You can say the sum of the string data, some of the small string data, something like that. Okay, string data will pass through the at the rate input decorator. But assume that the parent application will send the data to the child application, and the parent which data is sending, which data is the HTML, CSS, tables format, and these types of the data. Then how to send? Okay, and the best example of the ng after content in it is the at the rate content child at the rate view child. This is the best example of this particular hooks. Okay, so I will now discuss regarding at the rate view child and at the rate content child. I'm not describing more detail in the what is this. Okay, in my next video, in coming video, I will explain everything this thing in the detail. Ki what is the at the rate view child, how what is the at the rate content child, what is at the rate input decorator, output decorator, and other thing. Okay, let's see. So I am creating a business logic where parent is sending to HTML CSS data to the child component. Okay, and for this I will use the at the rate content child and at the rate view child. Okay, so first go to the app component.ts where available the app test file. Okay, under the app test file, now I will remove this thing because no need of this. Okay, this is the for the input variable. Under this I am creating a div class. Okay, and the div class add one id. Okay, so this id is the content wrapper. Okay, I am copy taking this some dummy text from the Google dummy text. Okay, find this some of the dummy content example. This is the dummy content. I have copied and pasting this dummy content under this wrapper. Okay, so in this case, once I will count the ng content in it. Once ng after content in it will receive the confirmation, then data will display. Okay, got it. So here I am creating a app test as the child component. Under this child, I am creating a div class, and here adding the sum of the HTML content. Okay, and save this file. And now I'm going to test.component.html file. Here how to receive the data from parent to child. So I'm here using the at the rate view child. Okay, under the at the rate view child, and I will check again at the rate content child, and here, okay, and in this is the content child. The content child is the ID is the content wrapper. Okay, so here pass the content wrapper and the what is the reference of this variable. So content and has element ref. Okay. Now let's see, here is the creating the view child. So in our HTML, go to the and creating a div, and on the div, nothing I have passed the any the content, but here here we are doing ng child and ng content child. Okay, so HTML text will transfer from the parent to child application. Okay, so ng to ng after content will work. Okay, okay, let's move to the sorry, let's move to the example. I will show to you the best example. So simply, this is the child component already. Okay, and here I will display to you demo. So here simply I am adding the ng content. Okay, and here I will close this tab. Okay, so okay, so which data is passing through the parent component will receive by the test component and under this ng content. So here you can pass the text, HTML, CSS and anything. Okay, so this is the okay. So means all data will display here under the child component. Okay, what is the okay. So here I'm not assigning any ID to particular div. So I will assign the ID, okay, under this wrapper class which you have created. Okay, so will pass here. Okay, under the view child, and this will be this will also ng on okay ng after content in it. Okay, so here is the wrapper and wrapper is the wrapper element ref. Okay, and here need to the quick fix code declaration. Okay, good. Okay, so first I will check what the error is coming in the view child. So view child, here is the column. Okay, this is the good. View child. Why it's getting this so unable to resolve signature of the property decorator when called and the impression import. So I think this will coming from the okay, not an issue. I'm commenting which data is not required. Okay, and here everything is okay. Now let's move here. Why it's getting the view child and the content child error? Because okay, no issue. So we'll test why it's not working. View child, view content, wrapper. Okay. So this is the actually syntax issue. This is the syntax issue. Okay. So we have done everything. Now wrapper and content. The view child and the content child. I think this is the wrong class with the view child. The view is grabs. Okay. The view is the grabs. And content also will specific types. Okay. And this is the example. Okay. Now let's check the yes server is running. Now check the console. So here you can say this is the parent and this is the child component and this HTML content will come from the child parent application to the child. So I think this is the best example. Okay. Now let's move to the another one. Another one SG after content check means once content is initialized and ready. After that, ng after content checked will run. Okay, and let's one more thing. I think I missed the one. So here is the ng2 check, ng2 changes, ng check. Okay, here I have not added the ng after content in it. So here simply call the after content init. Okay, and I'm here. I'm creating the ng after content method and type the console.log and ng after content init was exposed. Okay, so you can see this will run last one because first run the ng change, then change the ng on init, then ng to check, then run the ng after content init. So here you can check ng on init, ng to check, ng after content init. Okay, so last one is the ng after content init. Okay, let's again the refresh the body. You can see the same. Okay, let's move to the ng after content check. What is the ng after content check? The ng after content check, the ng after content check checks for the content of the component is every change detection cycle. The hook will get involved each time the content of the component is checked after being projected. Okay. Once data will receive from the parent application or the own component, once everything is initialized, then ng after content init will check. Content check will run. Okay, let's try an example. ng after content checked. Okay, so here you can see ng after content check. Also log ng after content checked was exposed. Okay, means after the ng after content in it, this checked method will display. Okay, will run. So here you can check the ng after content checked was exposed. This one run the last of the method, last one is the method. Okay, so I think this is the clear. When you will apply the ng content in it and ng content ng after content check, when you are writing any of the code which will run after the component initialization. Okay, so in this case you can use the ng after content in it, and if you want to change, you want to check the what is the change and other thing is the matter, then you can use the ng after content checked. Okay, so let move to the next one is the ng after view init. Okay, as per the naming convention you can understand the ng after view init means once view page is properly loaded, then once the view page is properly loaded, then run the ng after view init class, view init hook. Okay, so let's take an example. So here you can say ki, here the example here sub content are loaded. So once loaded the component, then change the color of this component. Sorry, the color of this content. Okay, and side will increase and something font weight will be bold. So we'll do this thing using the ng after view init. Okay, ng after view init. Okay, let's take example. First thing is the I'm commenting the ng on change because this will be very heavy method. So yes, now here adding the after view init. Okay, so let's here coming ng after view init. Okay, and here adding the uh, HTML text color will change. So here I'm taking the constant div element because the data is coming element under the HTML element and equal to this dot. Up here I'm assigning the wrapper class. Okay, so wrapper class means this will call to the component.ts this div. Okay, so for this div I'm here wrapper dot native element. This is the native element, and now div element dot style dot color equal to red. Okay, div element dot style dot font size equal to 34 pixel. Okay, now let's check. So here you can see the font size is also increased and color will be changed. Okay, the ng after view init will run once everything is okay, component is properly loaded, HTML page is properly loaded, then this method will run. Okay, so here you can say this will method will run in the last one. Okay, now let's next one is the ng after view checked. So same as the view init. After the view checked means once your component is initialized properly, then this will run. Okay, so before this I will convert to you. One is the question here maybe in your mind it's coming, what will be the difference if we applying the same code logic inside the ng on init hook instant of the ng after view init header, means which code I have added in the which code I have added under the here ng after view unit can be removed from here and copy paste in the ng on net changes. Yes, you can do, but sometimes you will face the issue, means your content will load but your css or any change which you have added out of the component, this will properly implemented or not, because the ng on init class will run once in start the slicing of the component. Ng after unit will run once everything is ready. Okay, once HTML code is ready, then this will be applied. So in the same time you can use. To answer it, the ng on init hook will initialize the component when it gets fully rendered. That does not apply on view getting fully rendered. Okay, so this might not give the appropriate result, but ng after view init is, it is the guaranteed that the DOM element are initialized and fully rendered. Okay, now let's move to next is the ng after view net. Angular fires the ng after view checked hook after the components view the child view. When Angular is done with checking all the view, it involves ng after view checked hook along with the every chain detection cycle after the view is initialized. Once HTML is completed loaded, after that in any chain detect in the component, then ng after view checked will call automatically. Okay, so let's say example. So let's say example, I'm adding after view checked. Here also adding the ng after view checked console.log ng after view checked was exposed. Okay, so you can see this will run in the end of the. Okay, so here you can change and after we check watch export, this will run in the last one. Okay, okay, every method will run then will. Okay, now I think this is the clear to you. Last one is the ng on destroy. ng on destroy. The ng on destroy hook is called only once during the component life cycle, right before the component get destroyed. So this ng on destroy you can use for the removal of the data from the local storage, stop the timer if you are running the intervals, some of the interval, then you can stop the intervals and task to prevent the memory leak etc. So something you want to remove from your code, you can use the ng on destroy. But remember, ng on destroy is not work while close the tab or refresh the page, because if you close this browser tab, then ng on destroy will not work, and same for the refresh the application. Okay, so I think everyone is the clear. The all the 8 types of the life cycle hooks in Angular. I have tried to explain everything is the everything step by step. Okay, and how to use all the life cycles. So okay, thank you. We will meet in the next video as soon as possible. Okay, so please subscribe my channel and like the video for the getting the latest update. Once I will update any new video, then you can notify immediately. Okay, thank you.